Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskratya Desatarine Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhaiva Chapatitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Bhaktya Vihina Aparatra Lakshai Kshiptas Chakkamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvang Sharanang Prapanam Vinde Numaste Charanara Vindam. Today's subject is of crucial importance. For starting a temple in the Western world, we have to understand that people are extremely sensitive. In this material world, we are very sensitive with ourselves and very rude with others. We are coming out of an environment which is an environment which is, you could basically say, very, very tough, very rough. And to get out of this world and come into a devotional environment is like a change, day and night. All of a sudden people are respectful with each other, they greet each other, they offer obeisances to each other. There's senior Vaishnavas, there's always ready to counsel the new coming devotees. Like that, there's a lot of wonderful things in the Vaishnava association. And gradually we start understanding what is a Vaishnava. What is it? Somebody who is dedicated to the sweet will of Krishna. Somebody who restricts his own pleasure searching and instead of that tries to please the senses of Krishna and the Guru and the Vaishnavas. Actually, Guru Vaishnavas, Vandeham Si Gurum Si Yuta Padakamalam Vaishnavams Cha. Guru and Vaishnava, they are mentioned in one line. The obeisances, the respect we owe to the Vaishnavas and the ones we owe to the Guru is the same. We should not think, oh, my Guru is above everything and everybody else is like insignificant, not important. If we have that mentality, it will be dangerous. Now, today I will talk about one of the great obstacles which arise in a temple community. It is also called sadhuninda, to minimize and to offend Vaishnavas, to talk ill about Vaishnavas, to think ill of Vaishnavas, to consider oneself superior to other Vaishnavas, to consider a Vaishnava to belonging to a certain caste and creed or background. All this is potentially offensive. It is sadhuninda. One devotee, great soul from India, said that when the devotees join the Krishna Conscious movement, they advance very rapidly because they do not commit Vaishnava aparat. But as they are staying longer in Krishna consciousness, they're getting familiar and they're starting to make some competitive evaluation and other disregards mentally or even verbally. They start committing Vaishnava aparat and their progress is hindered. They don't make this spiritual advancement easily like before. And they don't know why. Everything in the beginning was joy, ecstasies, wow, so nice, kirtan, harinam, let's go, book distribution, everything is joy, joy, joy. And after some time it is, yeah, okay, let's do it, we do it. It's our duty, you know. But later it may even go down further. Maybe you do it at some point only because out of fear, what the others will think if I don't do it anymore. What the others will think if I don't come to Mangal Artik. Oh, I have to come because of that. Up to the level when you simply don't do these things anymore. That is, a Vaishnava apparat can take you to give up devotional life, to again return to ordinary life, or to live in a temple and not practice anything, not to chant rounds, not to pray from the heart, not to remember the Sri Shikshastakam of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let us evaluate this situation for our own benefit. And if you want to have a temple in the Western world, you have to understand that the mentalities are very strong, and to overcome all this prejudices and all this anger, lust, internal strife and struggle of each one of the devotees, it takes a lot of love. The teacher, the one in charge, he always has to be like a loving doctor to see where he needs to administer some special mercy. Prabhupada used to have a jar of gulab jamums in his room, and when somebody came to him with his mind entangled, and Prabhupada used to give them a gulab jamum, and they used to be called ISKCON love bullets. So when you took one of those gulab jamums, you already forgot the reason why you were so confused. Why did you go to Prabhupada? Prabhupada, so is everything okay? Yeah, I think it's quite okay. So by the sweetness of the love of Prabhupada, he could immediately pull us out from our mental games, because our mental games are very, very intensive. We in our dealings with each other, we are not always sweet and humble. We should be, but sometimes we're like, we make cara de palo, we call it in Spanish. You make like a rock face. Yeah, Jai Prabhu. But there's no juice, no taste, no celebration of Ki Jai, Sadhu Sangha Ki Jai. No, it's like, so a smile is very important, Smile to the devotees. Give them a smile. It doesn't cost you anything, my dear. A stone face turns into a great inspiration as soon as you have an ear-to-ear smile on your face. Try it. Smile. Come on, smile. Yes, you look more beautiful when you smile. Absolutely. The difference is like day and night. No smile, everybody's, oh God, we have to deal with this gentleman, He is another problem. So, this is not a joke. These are very serious observations, because when we have a temple with offensive mentalities and people politicking against each other, wanting to show their superiority, sometimes they don't want to show it. Sometimes they just feel it. I'll give you an example. That there's always some feeling of superiority amongst a certain group of people. Even in Bengal, I have seen it, that they feel superior to the Orissa Vaishnavas. Such a silly thing, Every devotee is dear to the Lord, totally individually. There's not such a thing as Bengali Vaishnavas and Orissa Vaishnavas, or Punjabi Vaishnavas. No, Vaishnava is Vaishnava. That's why we also have to be very careful not to offend the women Vaishnavas. Like sometimes in the scriptures we are warned that you should be careful with the women, they're very dangerous. And yes, for brahmachari, strict life, it is dangerous to be too loose with the opposite sex. But if you think anything badly about a Vaishnavi woman, this is also Vaishnava apparat, you will also suffer from that. You suffer from any type of offense you make against a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi. And if you feel like this Bengali and Orissa, we have the same thing in South America. The Argentines, they feel they're better than the Chileans. The Peruvians think they're a little bit better than the Ecuadorians. And like is this like something inimical elements built into our structure of our education. We are taught, like I was brought up to think that anybody from primitive tribes, from original tribes, look, it went right in there, they are primitive, which is not true. There's nobody more primitive than the colonialists. Not only they are primitive, they are cruel, they are hypocritical, they are murderers, they are thieves. That's what the colonialists are. So then they call the other, they are primitive. That's why we have a justification to deal down with them. Or we can make them slaves. Such horrible things. Even Immanuel Kant, famous German philosopher, he said, oh, war is a good way to conquer more territories, and to make people slaves is not bad. He's one of the famous European thinkers. You know, it's very embarrassing, you know. The sadhus, they have a very high, elevated level of thinking, because Mahaprabhu says we are all one family, we all belong to Mahaprabhu's, to his beautiful family. This is such a great gift. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is such a great, great, great gift. In the Kiva, we also celebrate that we are all one family. We should not think that we are better than these. But in the material world, it is even going from neighborhood to neighborhood. All these people from that neighborhood, they are lower. The ones from our neighborhood, we are higher. It's like one time the big ego journey. That ego journey has been described. Why? Because, you know, we are from this great nation, and therefore we are superior to everybody else. And then you say, and in my nation, there's many cities, but actually the ones from my city where I come from, they are a little better than the others. And in my city, there's many neighborhoods, but the neighborhood from which I come, that is very special. They're very special. And in my neighborhood, there's many, many houses. And of course, the ones who are living in my house, they're really, really special. I mean, they're a little different than the others, the ordinaries. And in my house, there's many people, and well, modestly speaking, I think I am the most important one. In the end of the day, it's all a big ego trip. Any kind of feeling of superiority to others is nothing but a filthy ego trip of yours. Sanatana Goswami, he called it Shukaravishta. It is like pig stool. The pig stool, you have pratishta. Oh, I am this, I am that, I am more. This pratishta Shukaravishta, the pig stool you have smeared over your consciousness and your face. You're stinking, but you think you're shining. In your eyes, you're shining. In the reality of life, you're stinking. So this is how big the problem is. And you know, it's not that it appears once in a while. It is something we have to deal with all the time. That creates Vaishnava Ninda. Any kind of thinking that we are superior to X, Y, Z, to the people of the other mission. Oh yeah, well, they are from that mission, so they're not the same as we. My guru, Ami Guru, Jagat Guru, so I'm the best because my guru is the best. Got it? That's why I'm so lucky, so fortunate, because my guru is the best. No. Be humble. Be humble and know that we are sustained by Krishna's love alone. only by His divine love we can maintain ourselves another day in Krishna consciousness. And of course, then there's also continuous Ishtagostis, coming together, talking with the devotees about the programs, about everything you want to do in a temple. Very important. Never allow those Ishtagostis to degrade to fault-finding sessions of one finding faults with the others. If there is conflict in your community, and that's bound to happen, every community there must be conflicts, because we are very conflicting people. That has to be solved outside of Ishtagosti by talking with senior Vaishnavas, talking it out, harmonizing, becoming humble, asking to be excused by the others who we may have offended. That is the process, but not in the Ishtagostis. The Ishtagostis is for sharing the joy of serving our Guru Varga in this community, protecting this temple, standing for our Thakurji. That is, the Ishtagosti is very important. It has to be held very regularly, I mean, according to your way of managing. And like, I'm an Ishtagosti person. I've gone from one Ishtagosti to the other, sometimes several Ishtagosti in one day. Departmental, you can have departmental Ishtagostis, you can have ashram-wise Ishtagosti, yatra-wise Ishtagosti, Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha Ishtagostis. Ishtagostis always means, come on, sit together and let's see how we can improve the quality of our service. How can we live higher according to our ideals? Without Ishtagosti, without that spirit, you will find that things become stale. They become a little like lack of enthusiasm, no understanding, no good relationship. But when there's Ishtagosti, let's sit down. Okay, now our temple president is going to say some few words about the beautiful devotees in the temple and how they are helping and all that. So it's a very, very positive energy. And people become attached to, also in the Ishtagosti, we are discussing what has been done and what has to be done and what we want to do in the future. It's all like a very positive, and you keep everything writing down and make it. You have to have a community managerial standards which have to be at least at a what you call a business management level. What you learn when you study business management, you study how to maintain the people, how to keep the goals in sight, and how each department is a reliable, important unit. Like in the temple, we have the kitchen department, we have the book printing department, we have the deity worship department. Like some temples have 50 departments or so when they really get going, when they have, we have the PR department, we have the people who do the websites. There's so much to be done. Krishna Conscious, to make it work, to really get the thing running, wow, you have to really look into the subject. What about the social media? What about the cleanliness of the temple? Is the temple clean? How you expect people to be happy? Some people they have a handle on the temple door, the handle falls off and nobody puts it back. Everybody say, oh, the handle of the temple is gone, so what? But you have to have a handle on the door. To give an example, we are really, really eager to live in a community where the offenses are minimized or disappearing. And if any offensive mentalities are there, then they should be looked after to eliminate them. Then we can maintain the devotees. If devotees living together with an offensive mentality, then there's only a question of time. They start thinking, oh, I want to move out. If they're lucky, they say, I move to another temple, because in this temple, my relationships are too negative. We should be very careful about this. Very careful. That not allow the Shastra, the Sadhu Ninda to come into our realm. Because if within our realm we minimize each other and we think we are superior than others, we don't remember that what the meaning is of Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuba Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And if we forget the meaning of that mantra, we forget everything. Oh my Lord, please, I offer my most humble obeisance to all the devotees, the Vaishnavas of the Lord, who are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls, who can satisfy the desire of everyone. That is, the Vaishnavas are so great souls, they can help you. By their prayer, by their intervention, they can help you. Mercy can come down to you when Vaishnavas are happy with you. So I offer my most humble obeisance to the devotees. They're full of compassion for the fallen souls. They are not ordinary people. Are you all full of compassion for the conditioned souls? I think so. I think you are. Aren't you? Full of compassion for those who are suffering in this world, who don't know anything about Krishna, they don't know Bhagavad Gita, they've never tasted prasadam. Can you feel something for them? Please. Feel something. That is the Vaishnavas. They feel paradukha dukhi. They want to make the whole world happy. That is their effort, their energy. This is their temple agenda. Let's make the whole world happy. Let's have a temple in this world so people can come there and overcome their sadness. Their suffering in the dualities of happiness and distress, heat and cold. Matras pashastu kaunteya sitoshna shuka dukada agama payino nityas tangstitikshasvabala. Come on, let's preach the Bhagavad Gita. We have the greatest guideline given by Lord Krishna himself to Arjuna. We follow that and we believe in that. We are very fortunate to be in the association of other sadhus. So, anytime anything opposite to that tries to crouch into the mind and try to penetrate the happiness by bringing down that joy, then we will suffer. So therefore we have to be cautious that our Krishna consciousness is real. We have to be very cautious. And we also have to be cautious that the brahmacharis don't think that they're better than the devotees outside the temple. Because before you know, you'll be outside yourself when you get married. Now, how many people will be brahmachari sannyasi all life? So don't think you're better than them. And if you're outside the temple, be careful not to think that you are better or you know better than the people in the temple. Many times the devotees outside in the temple say, when I was a brahmachari, that was a different standard in the temple. Look how they're also mayasik now. No, everybody is struggling according to time, place, and circumstance. Be generous, be supportive, be friendly, be admiring. We have to admire anybody who is living in the temple. It's very admirable. It's a very difficult job to live in a temple in Kali Yuga, to follow sadhana bhakti, to go out and preach, to keep in the standards of the bhakti yoga principles. It's a very, very great task. So whoever does it, admire them. Pray for their grace. You know, in India they have this, I always want to touch your feet because you're wearing saffron. They say, oh, he's one of those guys who is trying to get out of Maya, so they touch your feet. Of course, maybe they are less in Maya than you. Maybe they are much more fixed in their devotion. That's why amongst devotees, we always exchange offering obeisances. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say when somebody offered obeisances to him, he would say, Dasosmi. No, I'm your servant. You offering obeisance to me? I am your servant. Imagine the humility, and not only the humility, but the reality. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was serving the purpose of all Vaishnavas every day. You see? Any type of bad thinking about another devotee is not good. Yes, we sometimes have to ask, please, can you please play the instrument in time? Or if you sing, don't sing so loud because your voice is out of tune. Sometimes we have to say something which is like kind of, but it is to a certain degree is also relative. Like myself, I cannot tolerate loud instruments which are so loud that you cannot hear who's singing what. Banging bells and judges, bom, bom, bom. You try to hear, what are they singing? You cannot figure it out. So I don't like it. So, but what does this? These are different styles and different elements in our living together and trying to make some beautiful offering, to have everything clean and punctual. That's very. One time they asked Srila Prabhupada, how can I increase my devotion? Prabhupada said, be more clean and more punctual. The devotees were thinking, now he's going to give a really esoteric answer. Prabhupada was always down to ground. He knew our frail, our weak points. Another time a devotee was asking Prabhupada, Prabhupada, what will please you the most? And he was a book distributor, so he was hoping that Prabhupada was going to say, that you sell most books. And Prabhupada said, that you all become pure devotees. That will please me the most, that we become pure devotees. So, it is a very extensive and very important topic. We cannot talk enough about it. You have to be very, very keen that in your community this sadhu ninda doesn't creep into the mind of the one. And if anywhere sadhu ninda tries to creep in, you pull it out, you say, Mancha kalpatarubhyascha, he's a sadhu. Don't think badly about him. Krishna has space for everyone. Now, sometimes devotees really, they don't get along with each other. For some reason, only Krishna knows. Then, the senior Vaishnava comes, you know something, Prabhus, you don't get along with each other. You always create an energy which is so negative here. We have a solution for you. Yes, what's the solution? You preach in this city and make a temple, and you preach in another city and make a temple. Yes, and we meet in Janmashtami. Oh, really? I mean, it sounds funny, but at some point I had the devotees preaching in 25 places in Bogota. One city, 25 preaching projects. Some people ask me, why you make so many preaching centers? And I said, well, they just don't get along with each other. They all want to have their own preaching program. They all want to do something. And then I don't say no. I say, okay, open a restaurant, go and do this. But if you open a restaurant, let's have Harikatha there every evening. Don't make it a business place. Make it a Krishna Conscious place. Like this, I've always negotiated in and around the devotees that they will do something for Krishna Consciousness. We have beautiful farm. We want people to come there. Our different outlets, our different yoga schools and this and that, they are all chances to increase our beautiful heart projects. But the real heart project is appreciation for Vaishnava. there, when and where a person develops attachment for a Vaishnava, for the preaching of a Vaishnava, then and there Krishna consciousness will grow. It's all about the opposite of sadhu ninda. It is sadhu prema. When you love a sadhu, when you love to hear his harikatha, when you love to go with him on a parikrama, when you love to go to the kirtan, if you know, oh, Shamal is going to be on Harinam, he's going to come from Vrindavanita with a few devotees, and then all others want to go there too, because they know there's going to be a fired up Harinam, there's going to be a lot of dancing and joy and smiling, like that. Some devotees have that energy, that positive energy. They can overcome any offensive mentality. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when two devotees were in conflict, he would sit them in front of each other and ask, can you please glorify all the good qualities of the other? And then other verse, can you describe all the good qualities of the other one? So the one you were actually criticizing, you were angry about, now you had to think about all his good qualities. And while you were doing that, you were realizing, he has so many good qualities and I'm thinking badly about him. How bad I am. Please excuse my offensive. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur means they had conflicts in those days in the Gaudiya Math also. So conflicts is natural. Where there is groups of people living together, there must be some kind of conflicting situation. So, but work against it. If you want to have a nice community with good energy, with good services, with people ready to go out and to do great things, then keep the Shastra Ninda out. Don't allow the offensive mentality thinking to sneak into your new temple which you are now establishing. And as I told you, the people in the Western world, they are very sensitive. They love the people who come from India because they think, oh, they're coming from India, they must all be very great devotees, which sometimes they are, but not always. Like here in the temple, we have one guy, he comes, he's also from India, but he's giving trouble every time he comes here. So it is not that India is a quality seal. No, nothing is quality seal, only Dainyatma Nivedanam, real devotional humility. That is the quality seal. No? At the same time, we are very grateful when devotees are coming and giving us their inspiration, giving us their love and attention. That is the best medicine against Vaishnava aparat. Lots of love and attention. So this is another advice. I mean, you may be in India, you may be in the West, but this difficulty is going on everywhere. And if you want to have a successful temple, then you have to fight against that with great determination. And don't allow anybody in the community to think we are the ones, we know the thing. If they're intellectually proud, some people have studied more than others, they think we are the real devotees because we know the scriptures better than anyone. Or another one thinks we are the kirtaniyas, we are singing all the time, but hardly going to class. Like any kind of group thinking we are better than the other group. No. It's not true. It's not acceptable. It will be rejected. Thank you very much for listening to this meditation, how to establish a temple in the Western world, how to make sure we advance and have a happy group of happy devotees working hard for the progress of Srila Prabhupada's vision and mission. And you see, Krishna will bless you with great success. Tolerate. A lot of toleration has to be there. Those who want to lead such communities, they have to have an unlimited tolerance practically. because there will be unlimited amount of trials and errors as well to be eliminated. That's what I have observed in my short time and short experience by trying to make temples. And I do not repent any second of it. All this has been for the good. Jai. Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Prabhupada, Patita Pavana Ki Jai.